So we are in Bolga and I have with me the Pest Masters. You know, there's no way that I can be in Bolga without speaking to entrepreneurs who are doing all the wonderful works to keep this place alive. And one of those companies is the Pest Masters. I have the CEO and founder.
Exactly.
Yes, Emmanuel Atignobu.
Exactly.
I'm right.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, you got that name right. That's a very difficult name. Exactly.
So, how long have you been running this business?
A little above 3 years now.
Okay. So that was around 2000, 2020?
Yes, we started 2020, early 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be before the COVID?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And why Pest Masters? Why did you decide to? What do we even do? Let's go there before.
Yeah, most of the time when I'm asked this question, it's really something I am proud to give the story behind Pest Masters.
Okay.
The whole story behind Pest Masters was because I was stuck in a dilemma of what to do in my next stage of my life. Okay. Since I completed university, I've been working with development organizations, and we got some period I wasn't getting contracts, so I joined GES. Okay. And since I've been teaching, but I realized that it hasn't been something I love to do. Okay. So I started applying for short-term jobs. Then, lucky for me, in 2017, I got a short-term contract with AGAMAL. Global Ashanti Malaria
Control Program.
Yeah. Okay. So that was how my pest control journey started. I'm actually a development student with an MPhil in development studies. Okay. But I veered into pest control because of the situation I found myself. Okay. So what happened was that one of the years, that was around 2019, I started struggling financial problems due to some wrong investments I did and all that. So it led to a lot of issues. Then I said, no, I must do something. Okay. Then one day I just thought about it. Why don't I make this pest control I'm learning from AGAMAL commercial? Because
so by that time you were still working with AGAMAL?
Yes. As of now, I'm still working with AGAMAL. As a district group supervisor. Okay. Of the Kasana and Nankana West District. Okay. So that was how the whole idea of pest control started. Okay. So I learned how to do spraying and supervise, train them.
They taught you all that?
Yes, we were trained by AGAMAL. So as a supervisor, I had to also come down and recruit people, train them, and let them go into the communities and do it for free. And you know, AGAMAL does it for free. Yes. So I was living in Bolga, and Bolga wasn't part of the district that was captured by AGAMAL. Okay. In Upper East, we are only in Kasana and Nankana West, Pulsa North, and Pulsa South. So people were asking me, when will you come and do your thing for me? When will you come and do your thing for me in Bolga? And I said, no. We don't operate in Bolga municipality. Okay. And it's not permissible for me to do that.
So there was a gap.
There was a gap. So I started realizing that people were interested in this whole spraying thing. Okay. But it's just that the right person with the knowledge wasn't there commercially to do it for them. Okay. It was only AGAMAL who they knew. Because AGAMAL operated in Bolga municipality. In fact, the whole region before they pulled out.
So people have really experienced.
Exactly. They already knew about AGAMAL.
The effectiveness of the
spraying. Okay. So they started asking. So I said no. So after one of our operations ended, I was stuck. And you know, when you get the cushioning in your salary, then all of a sudden the contract ends and you have to wait till the next day.
It was on a contract base.
Exactly, it's still on a contract.
How many months?
It was it's a 4 months contract.
So after the 4 months, you have to wait for the next year.
For the next year.
Okay.
So I said, but this thing, people have been asking for it. I have the ability, the technology, and knowledge to do it. Okay. So why don't I go into it? Okay. So I started purchasing some of the things we needed. I went to town, purchased my PPEs, purchased some knapsack. I started with just an ordinary knapsack spray. Okay. So, and I went and printed branded overalls. Then I decided the name. And lucky for me, I was able to convince my area, 2 women in my area. I came and did for them, took pictures.
You convinced them?
Yes, that because they've been asking me to spray for them.
Okay.
But there was no possibility of
And
me.
those 2 women, did they pay?
Yes, they paid.
They were ready to pay?
They were ready to pay.
Okay.
In fact, they even pestered me to do for them when we were in operation.
Okay.
And so when we ended, there was this guilt in me because I couldn't do for them.
Okay.
So they were still pestering me. So I said, okay, if they will pay, I will do for them.
Okay.
Lucky enough, they were ready.
So you did for those 2 women?
Did for those 2 women.
Do you remember how much you charged at that time?
One was 340 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And the other one was 280 Ghana cedis.
And the price, was it dependent on the size of the area?
Exactly.
Okay.
We used the number of rooms.
Okay.
So I calculated the insecticide.
Okay.
Because of my knowledge, I knew the insecticide I could use.
Okay.
I couldn't get.
So
what
the insecticides are in town?
Yes, they are there. They are actually there. Not the same as what AGAMAL uses.
Okay.
But we have other malaria control insecticides that are being sold there.
So the pests you targeted at that time were mosquitoes?
Exactly. It was purely mosquitoes.
Okay.
I had only mosquito spraying knowledge.
Okay.
So when I did this job for this woman,
but that woman, the items you bought, how much did it cost you? And after spraying, the amount you charged them, how much did you make at that time?
I remember the profit was close to 100%. Oh yes, I remember. But exactly the difference I cannot remember because that was 3 years ago. But I remember it was very good. I was able to pay the guys who I also. So what happened was that we have spray men who we use. They are in Kasan and Kana West alone. We have about 70 something AGAMAL.
Okay.
So when they go on break, most of these guys
they'll be hanging around. They have nothing to do.
They have nothing to do. A lot of them currently are actually even in Obuasi now doing galamsees because there's no employment for them.
Okay.
So when I brought the idea and called some of them who I work with, who were now free in the house to come, they were very excited.
So
about
how many of them did you employ to work on that first project?
2 guys.
2 guys.
Including myself.
How much did you pay them?
I remember it was 50 cedis.
50 cedis.
Per house.
Per house.
Yes. 50 cedis.
You did the whole thing in a day?
Yes. It's less than 2 hours. Okay. You'll be fine. But we need to usually give the people the time to stay out because of safety reasons.
Okay. So it's like those 2 men, everybody got 100 cedis for that day's work.
Yeah, they were
happy.
They were very not just happy. Within that period,
they were glad.
They were so excited. They were excited. That's the truth.
Okay.
So when I did this, then I took pictures. I was so happy myself.
Okay.
I went to Facebook, then I started sharing them on my personal wall.
All right.
I realized that people were applauding the idea, and I started getting people calling me based on the post I put.
Okay.
So I said, oh wow!
A lot of people were interested.
Then I pursued. I started doing posters and stickers. Then I brought this idea where we started going around distributing flyers in the market, in stores. At some point, I said, no, I have to target the organization. So I wrote introductory letters. To companies. Then within that period, I was working on my registrations. So when I got the registrations, what I do is that when I write the introductory letter, I attach.
You attach the registration.
And the license, which was what was lacking in the spraying. I realized that most of them didn't have the certification.
Why is it very tedious to get a certification?
It's not that it's very tedious. A lot of people don't even know that you need certain skills to do chemical spraying. It's because it's risky. They do it without necessarily following up to do the registration. It's not like it's expensive. EPA doesn't charge much for it. So you have to get accreditation from EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. How long did it take for your registration to come? Less than a month. Less than a month. That was easy. Yes. That's less than a month.
Okay.
So that has been my journey. It started as a backup plan or something that I thought I was going to use to cover up for my financial, challenges I was experiencing.
Since you started, what has been your biggest contract?
An international pest control contract with Juarez Galvao.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you travel outside the country?
No.
Or they have offices?
They have offices here. They are actually the contractors working on the Boko Pulmacro.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're able to, get a contract to be their fumigation pest control company.
Okay.
And doing fumigations in all their, contract sites.
Was it a yearly project or just once?
It was a year
time
project. What
Okay.
actually collapsed is because it was actually a 5-year project. But
Okay.
the company had to fold out because of the funding challenges due to our economic situation right now. I was actually challenged.
Okay.
Here was a young man who just ventured into a business, trying to find my way in.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden,
A big contract of that nature.
Contract of that nature. You had to deal with people who understood what pest control was all about.
So apart from AGAMAL, you were the only company who was into pest control in the northern part of Ghana or in Bolgatanga?
In Bolga, I know. I actually don't know any organized company
Okay.
that is there.
Okay.
If it is there and I have no idea
drink.
about, I wouldn't know. But I don't really know any
Okay.
company that is there currently.
But at that time, okay, even now, you don't know. That means even that time.
I know people who spray, but
Okay.
as to whether it's a company or it is just an individual thing they are doing, I can't tell.
Okay.
But within that period, I actually knew nobody because I
Okay.
was just focused on what I was doing.
What you were doing.
Exactly. I was just
So,
focused.
how many people are you employing now?
Currently, I have 2 permanent staff.
Permanent?
Yes.
Not on contract, permanent.
Permanent.
You pay every month.
I pay them every month.
Okay.
Then I have about 8 contract staff.
Contract staff. When you get
When we get job,
then you call them.
you call them, they come and do their job, they take their percentage, then
And
they
they
are
go.
done. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So that is what.
So the permanent staff, what do they do? What is their work?
I have one who is an administrative assistant.
Okay.
Then another one is on standby. So
Okay.
anytime I call him,
You have to be there.
he has to be there.
Okay.
Because there are certain times jobs are emergency basis.
Okay.
The bees are attacking people,
And they have to invite
and
you.
they- and
So
you have to
now
go and-
you are not dealing with only mosquitoes.
Exactly. So that was where the whole thing became a challenge, and that's
Okay.
why I was telling you about that big contract.
Okay.
Because I had knowledge in only mosquitoes, but when I got into the business part of it, I realized that mosquito was actually not people's problem as I thought.
Okay.
Yes, that was the
There
surprise.
were other insects that were worrying people more
it
than
will
mosquitoes.
amaze you to know that wall jackal is more of a problem to people
Oh, okay.
than a mosquito.
And there are some spiritual beliefs around that.
Exactly.
Animal.
Exactly.
Okay.
The fear of snake is more of a problem
also-
to
okay.
people than mosquitoes.
Okay.
Cockroaches is more of a problem to people than mosquitoes.
mosquitoes, okay.
And it's like, based on the experience they had with AGAMAL, a lot of them knew that AGAMAL had chemicals that could kill mosquitoes and still kill the rest of the things. Are you getting it?
Okay.
They had that idea.
No, was it a belief or that was the fact?
That was actually true.
So the chemicals that AGAMAL use, they don't only kill insects. They don't only kill mosquitoes.
There has been a change of chemical from one stage to the other.
Okay.
The previous chemicals, yes, they used to kill other things like cockroaches and wall jackals.
Okay.
But currently, what we are using, no, it doesn't. It's
Only
now only
mosquitoes.
mosquito pigs.
Okay.
So with that mindset that most of the people had, they would rather tell you they have war jackals, knowing very well that if you come and work on war jackals, the mosquitoes are likely to die.
Okay.
So I started digging deep into how to control other pests. That's how I started YouTube videos.
Okay.
I started watching YouTube videos. I joined pest control groups on social media, especially Facebook. I joined pest control groups. I was learning, I was reading all the ideas and the techniques that was used.
Okay.
So I was also reading. So I started, and as you do it, you're also learning in the job.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I made sure that every contract we had, I had to be part of it. So I was learning.
So if you get a contract, you have to follow them.
Yes, I actually drive them there. I go to do the inspection myself.
Okay.
So that I get the idea of how to do the job.
Okay. All right. So now we are in the Pest Masters office. Yes, and we are going to continue with our conversation. We got to where you said you have now ventured into the management of other pests, not only mosquitoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Which other pests have you added to your services?
So we do a whole range of pest control services right now.
Okay.
We do wall jackal control.
Okay.
We do cockroach control.
Okay.
We do termite control. We do rodent control, mice.
Okay.
We also do snake control. Yeah.
And have you gotten people calling on you to come and treat all these pests that you've mentioned?
A lot. As I'm speaking, I had to take today off for this interview because the weekends is when we actually get to do most of the works that we are booked for.
Because most of them are in the house during the weekends.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this season is a season of bees. I have a lot of bee control. People calling because of bee attacks.
Okay.
And we have also gotten into a stage where we have started looking at some of the pests that we kill.
Okay.
So we are adapting other more, more environmental friendly
methods.
Ways of controlling them. You must admit that bees, even though they can be pests, but they also have very important
roles that
they play in
like giving us honey.
Exactly. And pollination.
Okay.
So our bee population is actually going down. I'm part of a group where we're actually looking at these things.
Okay.
So we always want to use other more friendlier methods, and that one is very stressful because you have to go in the night so that bees. Yes. Because if you go and do it at this time, they will attack people.
Okay.
And so you wait when the people are indoors.
Everybody's sleeping.
Exactly. Then you go and do it. So that is some of the things that we ventured into.
What are some of the challenges of this business?
The challenges, well, it's just like any other business that you venture into.
Okay.
But our main challenge right now is that there's still a lack of knowledge of what pest control is all about. So we have to do what we call sensitization.
Okay.
So that the people understand before now they even think of booking us to come and do this.
to appreciate that pest is a challenge.
Exactly.
Okay.
A lot of people will just call it, come and spray this for me, come and spray this for me.
Okay.
But they don't know that it is not just spraying. It's not all the time that you have to spray.
Okay.
There are so many other methods we use that it's not just all about spraying.
Okay.
So it's a whole lot right now. And our main challenge right now is how to let the people understand that pest control has come to stay and it should be structured. If it is not structured, we are just going to cause a lot of harm to our environment.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody gets up, buys a knapsack, goes to the chemical shop, buys chemicals, starts spraying anyhow.
Okay.
Because you just think that it's all about spraying. But the safety measures, the techniques that you use to reduce the harmful effects are something that we have to consider.
Okay.
And if we structure pest control, there's a lot of opportunity for employment for our young people. Because, yes, I can tell you this is something that we have to look at. Because if you can imagine if we grow, then everybody understands what pest control is about.
Okay.
You want to spray your weedicides. You don't just go and buy anything. You have to employ somebody who does it for a fee.
Are you getting it?
Sure.
Because everybody has become a pest control person. It can't go like that. So we need to. That is what's our main challenge right now. How to do the education and still keep the business running. So we have to educate people on the importance of pest control and why they should seek professional pest control services instead of just buying chemicals without knowing the harmful effects of these chemicals. You don't even have the proper PPEs to do this work. So you end up trying to kill maybe a cockroach, but you are causing more harm to the people you are living with than you thought. Maybe the side effects might not come immediately, but with time you would feel it. And it's more expensive than just calling a pest control person, oh, I have this, and we handle it for you. So that has been our main challenge. But we are doing our best to see how we see.
How many branches do you have at the moment?
Currently we have 2. We have the Bolga branch and the Tamale branch. The Tamale branch is actually something we started a couple of months ago. Yes, we realized that our customer base had increased and people were calling us from all parts of the northern part of Ghana. So we decided that we would have a branch in Tamale to handle
those under the savannah area.
So that's what. But currently we run services in all the 5 regions. When you call us,
northern regions.
Yes, the 5 northern regions. So when you call us, we come around and we do the work. Then we come back.
In the next 3 years, where should we see the Pest Masters? Where do you want to reach? Which level are you aspiring to reach?
3 years, I think it's too much for me. The targets I've set for myself. I think in 3 years we should be everywhere in Ghana. We should be everywhere in Ghana. People should be able to access our services, whichever location they find out themselves. Right now, what we are currently challenged with in terms of doing works beyond is usually when you add the transportation charges and the accommodation you have to pay us to come and sleep, it becomes expensive. But if we have branches in all the regional capitals,
you can just move there in the morning
and do it and get back. So that is what we currently are targeting, to go nationwide by the time you talked about.
What kind of partnerships do you need at the moment?
Partnerships, I think the very crucial area I need partnership in is what is it? In terms of sensitization and education of people on the hazards associated with indiscriminate chemical usage. So I think if I get organizations or corporate institutions who are into this in this sector of sensitization, we will be grateful.
And they can do that education.
Exactly. Because currently we are funding it ourselves. We have to go around, educate people, meet farmer groups, let them understand what pest control is all about and why they need to take safety precautions into consideration. So that is the area we think if we get partnership, we would be very grateful. That is mostly our goal.
So are you on social media platforms?
Yes, I am. Social media actually happens to be one of the tool that we have used in coming this far, especially Facebook and other social media. So we are on social media. You can check us out, the Pest Masters, on TikTok, the Pest Masters, and Twitter, the Pest Masters. You will find us there, and you will see the wonderful works we are doing in so many areas and sectors.
What is the easiest way to collapse your business? Anybody who has started a business, what's the easiest way for them to collapse the business?
When you lose commitment in what you're doing,
you collapse the business.
Once you lose commitment, all the other negative things will follow. You will not have time for it. You would spend resources from it without thinking of the repercussions to the business. So when you lose commitment for it, that is it. But once you are committed to an idea and a project that you want to see it succeed, you will always go for it. So I think when you lose commitment, you have lost the business already. You have lost the business.
All right, so if somebody wants to get in touch with you, you mentioned the social media ones.
Yes, as I said, we are on Facebook as the Pest Masters.
The Pest Masters.
Instagram, the Pest Masters. TikTok, the Pest Masters. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just search for the Pest Masters and follow all the wonderful works that we do.
And then you have a specific number for business?
Yes.
Yes. So what is the business number?
0243 639468. 0243 639468. Just call us anytime, any day. We work from Mondays to Sundays because our job is such that you can never tell when somebody will need to seek your services.
Okay.
So anytime, we are always available to respond to your call.
All right. So as I said earlier on, there's no way I can come to Bolgatanga and then not talk to young people who are actually, supporting, helping this part of the country to move ahead. There are a lot of opportunities in the northern part of Ghana. A lot of people think that there are no options available here, and most of them are running to south because there are lack of jobs and opportunities here. But what Emmanuel have just shared with me gives me hope. There are a lot of opportunities available over here. Whoever thought that in the northern part of Ghana, someone will pay you to come and kill their pests for them? Because people were thinking that northern Ghana, there's no money, northern part of Ghana, no cash. But Pest Masters is solving a certain problem here, where people are willing to pay for their pests to be treated or to manage their pests in their homes for them. And I think this should inspire all of us to start something in the northern part of Ghana. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for speaking to me today.
Very welcome.
And we really appreciate your commitment to your work. And one thing I'm taking away is that without commitment, you will easily collapse your business. So when things are not even going on well, be committed and trust the process and know that definitely all will end well.
Sure.
Thank you too for watching us today. Join us again in the next video. Bye-bye.